Hey Internet, this is Jacob Clifford. Welcome to EconMovies. I'm gonna be honest, if you're currently an econ student, you've probably never seen the movie I'm gonna talk about. But given the fact that two main characters just got a standing ovation to the Oscars, I figured I'd go for it. So here we go, let's talk about the economics in the movie Twins. The movie is about long-lost brothers Vincent and Julius.
My name is Julius, and I'm your twin brother.
Oh, obviously.
They were separated at birth due to a genetic experiment.
A top-secret experiment designed to produce a physically, mentally, and spiritually advanced human being.
And for the rest of the movie, they embark on a journey to find their biological mother and discover more about their origin.
You came out first, of course. We weren't expecting him.
And they're totally different. Julius is compassionate, strong, and intelligent.
What are you doing with the finger there?
Learning to drive.
Vincent is selfish, manipulative, and reckless.
That creep? I wouldn't serve him if you crawled in on his hands and knees.
Okay, but what does this have to do with economics? One of the world's most important economic experiments occurred about the same time these two actors were born. I'm talking about two countries that were once one country, South Korea and its neighbor.
It's neighbor.
That's what I said. Neighbor.
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 In 1945, Korea split into two countries, creating the closest thing economists have ever had to a controlled experiment. Most countries are like the twins in the movie. They're completely different. They have vastly different physical or cultural traits, which makes it really hard to compare them.
We don't look the same, we don't act the same, we don't talk the same, we don't dress the same.
I know.
But in the case of Korea, we're talking about identical twins that were separated by a war. Before the Korean War, both countries had the same language, religion, climate, and history. The only difference is the economic system. And the results are in. At this point, it's safe to say that central planning doesn't work. South Korea's economy is 57 times larger than North Korea's, and has become a global leader in industries like electronics, cars, and entertainment.
You're all swelled up, you look like you're ready to explode. Yeah, put this shirt on, there are women and children present.
But in North Korea, isolationism and central planning has left the country economically stagnant and politically repressed.
I'm genetic garbage.
Economists would say that one of the main reasons is the lack of incentives. In a centrally planned economy, there's no reason to work harder, but in a free market, individuals and businesses have an incentive to innovate and take risks. A great example of this is the movie Twins. At that time, Arnold was only known as an action star, and movie studios didn't think he could do a comedy. Executives weren't willing to invest in him, so he decided to invest in himself.
Danny DeVito decided not to take a salary, and I decided not to take one, but that we take a big chunk of the back end.
Adjusting for inflation, that's about $100 million in today's money.
And of course, that was the best investment we've ever made.
So central planning or communism doesn't work. But what about socialism? A lot of people think that's the same thing, but they're different.
Capitalism, socialism, and communism exist along a sort of economic spectrum. At one end, the government has total control over the economy, and at the other, little to none. Socialism is somewhere in between the two. It's a system where the government has nationalized most all major industries, but unlike communism, property and resources aren't owned and controlled by the state. Instead, the government redistributes the wealth to individuals in a way it deems fair and equitable.
Ever since the Red Scare, the idea of promoting socialism has been taboo in the United States.
America will never be a socialist country.
Wait, hold on. What does this have to do with the movie Twins? In the real world, Arnold is a conservative that promotes free markets and capitalism. Danny DeVito's on the other side. He promotes universal health care and higher taxes for the rich.
Sounds like socialism to me.
So DeVito's not a socialist, he's a democratic socialist.
Democratic socialism.
What's the difference?
Huge difference.
Democratic socialism lies somewhere between socialism and capitalism, depending on whom you talk to. For some, this system is pro-market. Others want to abolish capitalism entirely, but they do agree on more government control, ensuring things like universal healthcare and tuition-free college, funded through expanded taxes on corporations and the rich.
My point is, the experiment is not over. Yes, these two twins suggest that communism or central planning doesn't work, but the debate between these two twins is still going strong.
You are a backstabber.
I am a backstabber.
So can democratic socialism work in the United States?
When I talk about democratic socialism, I'm not looking at Venezuela. I'm not looking at Cuba. I'm looking at countries like Denmark and Sweden.
Maybe these ideas will work, but we have to be careful because these are different countries with different cultures, histories, and economies. After all, they're not twins.
We're twins.
But do you know who are twins? Or at least they look a lot alike. Danny DeVito and the famous economist Milton Friedman, who had a lot to say about the difference between capitalism and socialism. So let's end this episode with his words.
It's a funny thing. After the fall of communism, everybody in the world agreed that socialism was a failure. And every capitalist country in the world apparently deduced from that what the West needed was more socialism.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode of EconMovies. If you like my videos, you want me to make more, please consider subscribing. And let me know in the comments below which movie you want me to do next. Thanks for watching. Till next time.